Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along for the ride. Today, we're going to look at some of the most egregious takes I have ever seen about a movie in cinema today, dude. And like, I get where the takes are coming from. I understand it, dude. People, you get these film critics who are looking for like very compelling performances, dude. Very interesting way to slice up the character arcs. And, you know, I get that that's what some people are looking for, dude. But sometimes I just want to go to the movies and watch a good old-fashioned video game movie, you know, tickle my childhood funny bone, have a good time while I'm at it, you know, watch Mario on the big screen, and I don't want to go home and read all these miserable reviews about a movie that I actually really enjoyed. So today, dude, I mean, you can see off to our, I mean, my left, but like your right, I think. You can see an article pulled up here. We're still pretty bad at making video game movies, huh? By Allison, dude. Allison from Vulture is absolutely going after my opinions today, dude. And we're going to react to some of the most egregious things that she has to say. Dude, Ryan, read the most egregious take from this article, dude. And I'm going to break this down. So I've seen this movie personally.
Again,
I've seen this movie.
To be fair, let me just set the scene here. Hayden has seen this movie. I have not. I am here to be the mediator between these critic reviews and Hayden's takes. And now, Hayden's saying these are egregious takes. He may think that. Some of you may agree with these critic takes. You can't say that they're wrong. These are their opinions. So we are just here. I am here to... I pulled up 4 reviews from... that are very low scoring, okay?
Okay.
And that we're just gonna review. I'm just gonna say some of the things that they said, and get your opinion on them. These are all from Metacritic, and if I recall, on Metacritic's site, just to give you all an idea about this movie, 16 of the critic scores were positive, 21 of them were mixed, and 12 negative. So it's slightly more positive favor than negative, but a lot of mixed opinions, which is going to be like, your in between like your high 40s to like 60-ish.
Okay, and like, I mean, I can get on board with that, especially from a critic's perspective, but dude, the audience reviews were overwhelmingly positive, dude, and I do agree with that, like...
The audience reviews on Metacritic were better than the critic reviews as well. It was majority positive, but... Again, we're taking a look at some of the critic reviews. So this first article, I think Hayden had already said, from Vulture here. A little headline here is that it's all dispiritingly wrote, aside from bursts of weird vitality, whenever the film veers into action out of the game.
Dude, so basically what it's saying is that, like, it's very, like, kind of, like, boring, dude, and, like, it doesn't really have that spirit of Mario that you're looking for. Unless they burst into action, dude. And I completely disagree with that headline right out the gates, dude. Because, and it's right up here. It's right up here if you can see it, dude. Here's the headline for this little blurb. And it's, dude, I essentially disagree with that. Because what they do, essentially, is they build a story from... I mean, it's very hard to build a story from a game. You know, you have the game elements, you have the nostalgia factor, and they have to connect the dots. You know, they have to build a character from Mario, Luigi, DK, Bowser, and have them be appealing on screen, dude. And I feel like they took a lot of liberties that were very entertaining, dude. Loved Bowser's character, dude. I thought he was hilarious. Dude. I love Jack Black on the piano. It was amazing, dude. And that, to me, that's who Bowser is. Loved DK's character. Loved Mario and Luigi in tandem, dude. We will get into that later, but dude, I absolutely love them, dude. Read to me the rest of this, though. This is where it gets very egregious, in my opinion. This is where this is where I get a little heated, to be honest.
Yeah, I think basically what they're saying here is that, the way that they assembled all the different iconic elements here, it resembled a story that they believe is borderline insulting, which is interesting. They don't really love what's happening with Mario and Luigi here, and they're saying that they don't know his dad is supportive enough, or he's short or something. They don't even really understand.
See, they don't understand why, like, Mario is an underdog in the first place. And to me, it makes perfect sense. To me, it's like, did they even, like, watch the movie? I mean, obviously, like, the emotional strings that they're pulling at aren't maybe as severe as some more serious movie, because at the end of the day, this is a kid's movie. But dude, I love the scenes where, they pick apart Mario's dad not being supportive, or like maybe Mario's short and that's why he feels like insecure and is having a tough time in Brooklyn before he goes to the Mushroom Kingdom, dude, and gets whisked away into the other world. But like to me, like them showing the family dynamic and them around, I mean, spoilers, you know, spoiler warning incoming. Showing them around the dinner table, all the members of the Mario extended family, like that's to me what family is, dude, because the most love exists within families, but also the most hate and the most strife and the most, like, not the most hate, but like the most like people like picking away at maybe things that you feel insecure about. For example, Mario and Luigi's plumbing business that they started, and it's on TV, and they're struggling to keep it alive and keep it growing. And you see the dad sort of make fun of them for this plumbing business. And to me, that is very reminiscent of how families actually are. And I thought that was a really cool thing that they threw in and took the liberty to expand. We've never seen Mario's dad, Mario's mom, Mario's cousins around a dinner table, you know, talking to Mario about his plumbing business. And that's what I love to see in the Mario movie, because it gives some background context about, you know, Mario's intentions. Yes, they are in the right place, dude. He is the hero that the Mushroom Kingdom needs because of his innocence, dude, because of his goodwill toward the Mushroom Kingdom and wanting to save the day, dude. But he is like a little incompetent, but he's trying his best at the end of the day. Like, is he a bumbling buffoon in this movie for the first like third of it? Yes, dude, it is frustrating to see. It is frustrating to see my boy Mario, dude, during like a few like training sequences, they did him absolutely dirty, bro. They did him absolutely dirty, bro. They like basically, he is the butt of the joke, like, for the first third of the movie, and it kind of grades on me after a while. But dude, it opens up into so much more of like a complex emotional storyline with the brotherhood of Mario and Luigi, dude. I love the flashbacks. I love the flashbacks of Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, dude. I love it. I love showing that backstory, dude. Showing the emotional bond, them having each other's backs through thick and thin. And dude, like, you know, they're not perfect. They're not the heroes yet, but that's what this movie is about, dude. It's showing that, you know, the average Joe, the little guy on the streets of Brooklyn, can be the hero. And I love that, dude. I love that. I absolutely love that, dude. And says Luigi's a coward, dude. He is a coward, bro. But that's who Luigi's character is, all right? I'm sorry, dude. That's who Luigi is, bro. Come at me.
Can't be hating on Luigi now.
You can't be, dude. Luigi is Luigi, bro.
We can't be hating on Luigi.
And dude, this is coming from a very avid Mario lover. Like, dude, nobody loves Mario as much as I do. Nobody. All right? Nobody loves Mario as much as I do. But dude, I'll tell you this, dude. This is a video game movie, dude. If you've never seen Mario, you probably won't. You will still enjoy this movie, dude, but it won't be like groundbreaking. But you need the context, dude. This person who, Allison, bro, no context involved whatsoever, bro, and that's why she had all these egregious takes, dude. Okay, you don't get the emotional payoff if you don't know how a bullet bill works, bro. Like, you don't get that joke in the movie. I'm sorry, you just don't.
Well, again, you know, I have to be here. I am the mediator. I am playing devil's advocate here. And I don't think that we can necessarily just say that Allison's takes are egregious. I think that there can be, from her perspective, some merit behind these takes. What I think is there can be vastly different lenses that we see this movie from. And I think from a critic perspective, and you see that in the different scores between critics and the audience. Like I mentioned earlier, 16 positive reviews from critics, 21 mixed, 12 negative. I should really try to find that separation for the audience as well. Maybe I'll try to find that here in the middle of the video. But just know it was much more heavily favored positive for the audience. And I think that shows you when you're not looking at this movie through the lens of just a true movie critic, and you're trying to take this as like, was this movie a masterpiece? What did this movie truly do for you? That's not exactly what a video game movie or a children's movie or a
dude, and that's what I'm getting at, bro.
And
dude,
so
like you stole the words right out of my mouth. I love it.
Yeah, that's why I'm here to be the mediator. It's kind of just put a little bow on it, and
just
also,
a little seasoning. Just a little salt, a little pepper, something to give it a little bit of flavor, dude. Because I'm serving it up raw. I'm serving it up raw. I'm serving it up fast and fresh, dude. And you need to cook it a little bit. You need to cook it, marinate it.
Yeah, and I think it can come off the wrong way when you don't like wrap it up in a tiny little neat bow. And again, here to be the mediator, I'm gonna be playing a little devil's advocate. Once we do
I love that. You know, I love some devil's advocate.
and once we get to the full,
Holy cow, dude, my face, you can't see my face right now, but dude, it is like brighter than 1,000 suns, dude, because the sun is setting while I'm recording this video, and it is straight in my face, dude, and I just look like I look like the Silver Surfer, dude. I am glowing right now.
Wow. All right, dude. Well, we got to move on to the next one.
All right, moving on to the next one, but dude, egregious takes. I mean, I do see where they're coming from. I do see where they're coming from, but dude, we'll pull up the next article here.
Okay, so we have this article from Datebook here, and very interesting lines here near the end of the article where they're talking about how, you know, the in-game mythology, it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense with the magic boxes, mystical coins, you know, expanding mushrooms, and they're saying that when you see this type of thing on the big screen, it kind of just flashes a light on how the original game didn't really have any logic in the first place.
Right, dude, and like, I mean, I understand where this is coming from, right? Because like, the original game didn't really have any logic. It was a fun game about a plumber named Mario jumping around blocks, and it was kind of ridiculous. Like, it was kind of silly, it was kind of goofy, but to me, like, that's where the true life of the movie is like building a world from this nonsensical starting place. And it's almost like a writer's challenge, you know? It's like, okay, the starting point is this game, is this lore that they've built up since the 80s in this Super Mario Bros. World, and then trying to make a movie, like reverse engineer a movie from this starting place of like abstract abnormalities. And I genuinely like what they did, bro. They took a lot of liberties and took it in a lot of interesting directions, dude. And like, I loved it, dude. I loved Bowser being an absolute maniacal man in this movie, bro. I love Bowser's character. I said that earlier. There's a scene with him playing the piano that is a great scene, dude, and it's Jack Black singing about his love for Peach. And then he gets very jealous, dude, very, very jealous of Mario's mustache. And I think that's a funny scene, bro, and it makes sense with the characters from the game, you know, because if you are willing to kidnap Princess Peach over and over and over and over again, that's going to stem from an emotional place. And maybe that is insecurity, not getting the woman that he cares about. I mean, you know, I'm not the one to say, but like, that makes sense to me, and I like what they did in the writer's room with it, dude. I mean, you know where I'm coming from, bro? You know what I'm saying?
I do. I can understand what you're saying, and I think, again, as I'm trying to be neutral here, the only thing I'd say in response to what they're saying in this article here is there's many video games that, when you just look at it at face value, it's not logical. It's not
correct.
It's like, how is this a game? Where did this come from? It's like you just splashed something on the paper and ran with it. But
yep.
I mean, that can make some of the best video games, and they don't have to be the most logical, coherent things to make the greatest game.
Dude,
so, you know,
I'll give a great example, dude. I've played Super Mario Odyssey, dude, and there are a lot of references to these newer, especially Switch games. They do pull directly from the Switch universe, so, you know, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario Odyssey, primarily those two. But, like, some other ones as well. And I truly believe, dude, that, like, like, me playing Odyssey for the first time, dude, there is some enjoyment of just controlling Mario's character model, because he is this like small plump Italian plumber guy, but he is clearing all these obstacles, and he is extremely nimble and acrobatic, dude. And like, there's this like fun random energy that you contrive from playing a game like that, because it's so goofy and so nonsensical. But Nintendo just does such a great job of securing the core game elements to making it a fun game. You know, and you see that shine in this movie, dude. I love the animation style, dude. I love the character models. I mean, it is difficult to construct a movie from a video game, but dude, like, come on now. It's the Mario movie.
And just for reference, I said I'd try to pull this up earlier. So the meta score on here shows, based on the critic reviews, a 47. It seems like a 47 out of 100. So,
Okay. Okay.
you know, in that mixed category, the user score is an 8.6 out of 10.
And that is pretty
think-
good.
And so I think that's what I was trying to say earlier about how I think the critics can, you know, it's very difficult for them to put on the lens of just an audience member, a fan of the Mario universe and the Mario games, right? Like, how can you turn off the critic hat, you know?
Right. Right.
I mean, you're gonna look through all movies in that critic's lens, and I just don't think all movies are meant to be looked through that lens, especially a movie that is a video game movie, or more made for kids, or based off of a video game most specifically, right? Like, you're just not.
Well, like, dude, it's like, what am I signing up for? Am I signing up for a film masterpiece by going to a 90-minute Mario movie, or am I like, dude, and granted, I did have a great theater, and I want to add that in because I think it is an important detail. Like, when you have families going to this movie and they're like experiencing every little joke like through the lens of a kid's eye, dude, that will give you like a transcendent experience, and it will be a fun time, regardless of like if they fleshed out Mario in like a compelling way, you know?
Dude, okay, and that transitions us actually into the next article from the New York Post.
Okay, dude, let's get right into it. I'm gonna pause and we'll pull this bad boy up.
And so when we take a look at this New York Post article, we see that they're saying that a lot of these characters are just not very funny, and the jokes in this movie are not great, and the characters kind of just make some dumb comments themselves. You know, and they give some examples. Bowser's saying he's now the most powerful turtle in the world. Soon we will arrive at the Mushroom Kingdom. And then the princess is saying there's a huge universe out there with a lot of galaxies.
But like, to me, dude, and like, granted, to me, these aren't jokes. I mean, like, I think these are just statements about them building the world in obvious ways. And maybe, dude, this is a criticism that I can get behind, dude. Maybe they do, like, kind of spoon feed you the story a little bit too much, dude. Like, I am the most powerful turtle in the world. Soon we will arrive at the Mushroom Kingdom. To me, you are taking the formula of the movie, grinding it down into baby food, maybe applesauce. I mean, it's still delicious baby food, but maybe you don't have to chew it as much, and it just slides right down your gullet, and you can swallow it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And like, I don't mind. Like, obviously, it's not the best like film device, like ironic device to convey the story's plot, but it didn't deter from the movie in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Bowser proclaiming I am now the most powerful turtle in the world, and like, yeah, we're on our way to the Mushroom Kingdom. To me, that's not even like a joke, really. You know, like, that's not like, to me, the writer of this article does not have enough Mario context, and so to them, maybe they've never played the games, but they think it's a joke because they're making like some meta reference to the games. But to me, as like an avid viewer, dude, as an avid player of the games, dude, like, that's not a joke. So I feel like it's taken out of context.
I'm somewhere in the middle here, because I would imagine that they've played Mario games. They're familiar with the universe.
I know.
But I can also get behind with what you're saying with.
It seems like they're missing a piece of the puzzle.
Like, granted, I don't have all the context about when in the movie these are being said and how they're being delivered, but when I just read the line, I am the most powerful turtle in the world, soon we will arrive at the Mushroom Kingdom, that doesn't seem like it's supposed to be a joke to me.
It's not supposed to warrant a laugh.
It's, to me, that statement, again, from all the context that I have, seems like they're just telling you what is happening in the movie. And I've mentioned multiple times, I just talking to Hayden, not in a video, with, I think it's super important when in a movie to not just specifically tell the audience what's happening. You need to assume that your audience is smart and will be able to follow what's happening. You don't need to directly state out to them, lay out to them exactly what's happening. They like word for word, though, like you don't need to say that soon we're going to arrive at the Mushroom Kingdom. I'm sure from the previous scenes, you are going to know that Bowser and his army are going to the Mushroom Kingdom, right?
Right.
Like, that can be inferred by almost everyone. So my guess is it's more of just a statement of telling the audience exactly what's happening, which I don't think is needed in the movie. But my guess is they're probably putting those in there, again, just because we're catering to a younger audience here that maybe isn't able to infer as much of what exactly is going to happen next in the movie.
And dude, like being someone who has watched this Mario movie, it does fly by quick. I mean, they pack a lot of plot into a 90-minute movie. So to me, with that fact in your brain, and now looking at that with that in your brain, dude, like it kind of makes sense. Like if it's so fast paced to where like things are happening one after another, like maybe you just need to tell the audience what's going on at certain junctures of the movie to like make sure that they're along for the ride and they're not confused by like, okay, why are we in the Mushroom Kingdom now? You know what I mean? Like maybe. And like it's a very fast roller coaster ride of a movie, and it's gonna be paced out a little bit differently than like a very serious drama that's live action where you're conveying some of the plot through like the characters' faces and like how they feel about things and those very subtle cues. Like this is just an animated thrill ride, an animated thrill ride, bro. Come on now.
I hear you.
I'm passionate, dude. But let's get into this last article. All right, here we go.
So we have another article here. I believe this is from the Austin Chronicle, and something that just stood out to me here was basically they're saying, whatever thrill ride service we might be seeing, kind of mentioning the notorious pipes from bullet bills in Mario. It's just, they're saying all of these elements basically don't really do it for him in short terms. And when we look at the story, they just don't think it's a very compelling story. And another interesting thing, which I really want to hear your perspective on, is they don't really think that there's especially interesting voice performances, which I don't know. From my perspective of just seeing the trailers, I really like the voice performances.
I really like the voice performances, dude. And I have a take that might make some viewers upset right at the end on the last article. I didn't love Mario's voice, Chris Pratt's Mario. I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it. To me, Mario in this movie is very childlike. Like he is kind of like naive and like wide-eyed for the entire movie. And the voice performance does reflect that. And I think Chris Pratt did give a good convincing performance based on the context that he was to work within. But I don't know if that's all there is to Mario. I mean, if they do build upon the Mario cinematic universe in future movies or future iterations of the movie,
you have more developed Mario that is not as childlike.
Right.
Like
and this is a Mario origin story at the end of the day. And we have to remember that. This is a Mario origin story.
And so, to play like a little devil's advocate about, like, I always thought when I saw the trailers, like, the one, like, when everybody was going crazy about the Chris Pratt Mario voice, we'd only heard, like, the one line, and it didn't sound the best. But, like, I'm like, this is one line of a trailer, not even the movie. I'm like, I'm not going to take it for that much. But I think the Mario voice is better than what people give it credit for. But I think there's a little bit of a chicken and the egg situation here. Because what you said with Mario is childlike throughout the movie, and this is his origin story. He's not full-fledged Mario yet, and so Chris Pratt going with this version of a Mario voice makes sense for that version of Mario.
Correct.
Now that's not the version of Mario that we're all accustomed to just playing the games. We're used to playing with full-on Mario taking on Bowser, doing whatever he needs to do, right? There hasn't really been an origin story Mario game, to my knowledge.
Right, dude. And to me, that is like a deliberate decision, dude. In like, if they do continue to make Mario movies and change Mario's character, like, dude, Chris Pratt as an actor has so much range. You see him play Star-Lord, you see him play the Jurassic Park guy, you see him play all these action heroes, but he's also the goofy, chubby guy from Parks and Rec. You know what I mean?
So
like
Right.
He has
So
all of that packed into him, dude. All that capability, and like I don't think we've seen all of that, but I think we're not meant to quite yet.
exactly, and so that would be my rebuttal here. Now, maybe this is not this is probably not the Mario voice that we had envisioned, because this is not the Mario character that we had envisioned, because this is not the Mario character that we're all accustomed to playing with and being in the world with. And so I think that's the distinction here. So to me, it's less of a Chris Pratt voice issue, and not even an issue, but it's more of a situation of how they wanted to portray Mario in this movie. And like you said, if there is another movie that comes out, I would imagine you are going to have full-fledged like Hero Mario. You don't have to go through his journey like to become Mario saving the day. And I would imagine Chris Pratt will change up the acting voice for Mario a little bit, to where he's not as childlike. And you're going to probably also see that through Mario's actions in the movie. Now, if they end up making another movie and that doesn't happen, well, I think they kind of just miss a little bit at that point, right? But I can't say that until we actually see the non-progression of Mario's character into the next movie.
And I think what we have to do here is like give credit where credit's due, because at the end of the day, dude, I loved every other voice in this movie. Like, most of them made me laugh, and most of them I thought were cast perfectly.
Like Toad?
Love Toad, love his voice, love his character for the movie, amazing. I think Jack Black, Bowser, great, amazing, dude. I especially love the songs with Bowser. I think Seth Rogen as DK was amazing, dude. And even Peach, we get more of like in Peach in the video game, she's more of this like very like cheery, very happy princess, very like flowery girly girl. In this, she's like Zero Suit Samus, like kind of like more of a badass, dude. And I like that aspect of seeing Peach, you know, float around and going into battle and like being fearless. And the voice does such a good job of reflecting that. Like Anna Taylor-Joy I think that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Does such a good job, dude, of Peach. And like every other voice I love, dude. Every other voice I absolutely love.
You know, for some people, if you didn't like the Peach voice, again, it could easily be a situation of it's less about the actual voice and more about that's just not how you're used to Peach being portrayed in the games, just like Mario. If they're being portrayed in a different way, it warrants a different type of voice, and I think we can all, get behind that. And so if we're going to portray Peach like this, which I like, more of a Zero Suit Samus vibe, like you said, yeah, you want a little bit of a different voice to reflect that. Just like with Mario.
Right.
So, the last thing here that they said, not just about the voices, but they're saying they just didn't think that there was like a single like original idea or concept in this movie, I believe.
And dude, I completely disagree with that. I mean, obviously they are pulling very heavily on nostalgia, but they had to rework a lot of the plot lines to fit an intriguing story. Because if they boil it down to Mario saving Peach, Peach getting moved to another castle, Bowser being the bad guy, and that's the whole movie, I feel like it's very boring and literally like a direct like, okay, like they're just connecting the dots at that point, not taking any creative liberty to carving out these characters in interesting ways. But we see Luigi as the one who is removed from the group, and Mario has to save Luigi. And that creates a very interesting dynamic and provides the space for Peach to be more of, you know, more of a hero, more of a showing Mario the ropes, which I think is a very interesting take, dude. And you get moments like, dude, like, you get moments like traveling sequences with Toad and Peach and Mario traveling to save Luigi. And there's such funny dialogue with Toad and Mario and Peach. And it is reminiscent of Shrek almost, with Donkey like being annoying towards Mario and Peach and like wanting to be Mario's best friend and Mario kind of refusing it. And I think that is like so funny, so interesting. And I never really thought of Toad and Mario's dynamic to be like that, and the games wouldn't give you that indication. So, dude, I think there were a lot of creative liberties taken with the movie's direction. They're just unsung, dude, because I think like at the end of the day, like I just disagree with these takes, bro. I truly disagree with these takes.
Well, yeah, there we have it. I think, you know, we got to see some different perspectives. Again, these are some of the reviews that had the lowest score of the movie, and that's kind of what we wanted to get the stark difference between Hayden, who really enjoyed this movie, and critics who seem to not be so much of a fan. So if you guys did enjoy this, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We will have a Hayden review video coming out very soon as well, and I'll probably be in that video as well, just kind of mediating, asking him some specific questions of things in the movie. What did he think about certain things? And so that'll be kind of just all focused on his thoughts about the movie. But yeah, anything else, Hayden?
But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, smash that like button and let us know what you thought as the viewer about the Mario movie. I'm intrigued. Ryan's intrigued, dude. Was I off the mark with some of my takes? Let us know, baby, and we will see you in the next video. Let's go.